Coming up in this video, we spend a night below zero at a truck stop. I share a parlor trick. The wildlife is everywhere. And we try to uphold our promise not to have any fun in Canada. We are Ben and Rebecca. After preparing our truck for a subarctic journey, we are ready to hit the road. Welcome to the second of 4 videos as we drive 2,300 miles through the below zero temps of Alaska and Canada to take care of business in the lower 48. Well, good morning from Haines Junction. Another brisk day. Didn't warm up much. It's somewhere around minus 19, minus 20. Fueled up last night. Parked next to this truck stop gas station place just because it was here and convenient. The heater ran really well last night. We did the SPAR hydronic one and not our diesel stove because I wanted to make sure the engine stayed plenty warm, because that thing is also essentially a block heater, and that is very critical. And it's great because we woke up this morning and I think it was at like 61% battery bank left. So it only used 40% of our bank running all night long, non-stop, which is what the SPAR guys told me to do when I talked to them a couple weeks ago. They said the problem is when it's on a thermostat and it just clicks on, off, that boogers up the little atomizer with carbon. So I kind of found a balance and set it so that the thing just runs straight, and it ran like a champ last night. Okay, the engine is theoretically had hot antifreeze going through it all night long. Well, that's good. The little glow plug symbol did not come on, which means there's an inherent amount of heat. So, oh, yes! I love it when that stuff works, especially when that semi was parked next to us and homie left his engine running all night long for obvious reasons. But yes, minus 20, boondocking at a fuel station with a block heater, all off 12 volt and diesel. I love it when these systems work. And the engine is kind of partially warmed up, so this heater theoretically should be blowing warm air already. Oh yeah, that's nice. Okay, let's try this parlor trick again.
It's pretty painful not to turn down this road because that leads to Tahkeene Hot Springs, one of our favorite places for weary travelers to have a hot soak and rest their weary bones and get cleaned up. We're trying to be really respectful of the fact that Canada was gracious enough to let us pass through, and just be respectful and appreciative of the fact that we can get to the lower 48 at least. So our little bit of fun for the day is going to have to be limited to throwing hot water in the air and watching it evaporate. We're coming up on Whitehorse, so we're making some good time, and it is freezing cold, for sure.
It's way beyond freezing.
It is. It's painfully cold.
Well, to pass the miles and kilometers today, we are listening to something that we started on the Dalton Highway, James Michener's Alaska. It's something like 50 hours long, and I'm guessing we're maybe 8 to 10 hours into it. But it's really good because it starts all the way at, I'm just going to say like the beginning of time, like Pangea level, and it gives you like all the history of Alaska to modern day. And when you have this many miles to cover, books or audiobooks, they're very welcomed.
Any item of clothing was precious, for men had risked their lives to harvest the hides, and women had toiled tanning them and preparing sinews for sewing.
We've made it past Whitehorse, and the sun is up, The scenery's changing. It's nice to be on this stretch of highway now because we can actually drive over 60 miles an hour and make some really good time so we can get closer to that warm weather ahead.
Gotta love the land here. All these bridges, the rivers, the lakes. This is seriously amazing here. I know we take it for granted because we've done it so many times, but it really is that spectacular.
I can't lie, I got a little sleepy in the sunshine and took a little snooze, but woke up kind of hungry. It's about 1:10 local time, and because we are trying to be very respectful of the request to not go into restaurants or anything like that, and also to save time, we are using our handy dandy little lunch pack that we brought from home, and I've got some bananas and clementines and carrots, and we made sandwiches before. Well, we made sandwiches actually on one of the stops.
Yeah, a potty stop.
Yep. So time to eat some food.
I think I could almost live off of lightly salted carrots, cucumbers, and celery, because my grandma as a kid would always just have those in the house. And back then it wasn't these baby carrots, they were actually real carrots, but I don't know, I just devour these all day long. There's no shortage of caribou hanging out on the road today. Cool creatures, like them. We go hunting for them at home in Alaska. Good, tasty animals, migratory. I don't know. Caribou are awesome. Okay, just topped off with fuel here in Watson Lake. And another noteworthy thing here in Watson Lake would have to be the Signpost Forest, which, you know, we're not supposed to go visit right now. But I can't lie, we probably would not anyways because we've done it a few times. But it all started way back in the early days of the Alaska Highway with one sign, and look at it now. It's a really cool place and worth the stop, especially if it's your first trip up the Alaska Highway. Well, it's 3:30 local time. The sun is already low on the horizon as it is this time of year, so it's going to be setting quick. And it's a shame because this stretch up here is beautiful and there's a lot of wildlife and rivers and lakes and all that, but we're gonna push towards what's called Fort Nelson. It's a big push. It's gonna be like 300 miles just to get this out of the way in hopes of moving on towards a more hospitable climate. I may use the word warm, but when I say warm, I'm talking like 20 degrees or 30 degrees even, not minus 20 or minus 10. Okay, that is the checkpoint entering the Yukon, where they're notifying people that they'd like them to traverse the Yukon territory within 24 hours. And trust me, that is a long stretch to cover in 24 hours. Okay, well, here's the first wildlife since the fuel stop. One of the iconic bison. Really cool creatures. There's definitely no shortage of these guys on this stretch of road. Hey honey, look, more bison.
I'm shocked to see them. I just love watching them eat in the snow.
I feel like National Lampoons. Big Ben, Parliament, bison. Well, this is one place that we would definitely stop at. Liard Hot Springs, but oh wow, they're even closed to Canadians. Well, I don't feel too bad then. Yeah, those hot springs are amazing. They're a natural hot springs, unlike Takini back in Whitehorse. There's maybe a quarter-mile boardwalk and a campground and a hot end and a cooler end. It is a slice of paradise. Okay, it is very dark now. Yep, driving into the night. Fort Nelson, it never felt so good to be here. It is about 10:30 local time. That was an intense drive. All that natural beauty and wildlife, it's a challenge at night on snow-covered roads. While Rebecca was driving, a pair of moose ran out across the road in front of us. Then there was a herd of bison right on the road hanging out. Then I take over for a bit, and lo and behold, there's a cow elk just hanging out in the middle of the road right around a bend. And yeah, one of those things where you hit the brakes and the anti-lock brakes engage, so yeah, you don't lose control, but you sure as hell don't stop. And we still haven't had dinner yet.
And it's 10 o'clock.
No joke. Coming up in the next video, we are sharing a day in the life while continuing our passage through Canada. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and join the Outliers YouTube community for early video releases, exclusive content, live chats, and so much more.